Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. Hello from Oschersleben. Finally, we're back after a long winter break. It is time for the whole new DTM season 2025. Finally, we're going racing. And yeah, we're about to go qualifying in just a few minutes. And obviously, it's a new year, so we have a lot of news and new regulations. And what we're looking forward to, which is really exciting, is that we have in the second race, which is today, we've got 2 pit stops. That's going to be super exciting. And yeah, Lucas Auer is already in the car. He is the new championship leader because he won the race yesterday. It was a spectacular day for him because he started in pole position and managed to ace it. And yeah, so he's psyched about that, and surely he'll be pushing really hard. The leader of the championship, that's Luki Auer. But of course, Mirko Bortolotti is the champion 2024, and he'll be doing everything as well he can. And so will, all in all, 24 drivers from 9 different brands. So this season is going to be super exciting, and now we're ready to go qualifying. So let's do it. Here are your commentators.
Thanks very much, Verena. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for the second qualifying session of the weekend here at Oschersleben. Lucas Auer then with the perfect day yesterday. Pole position, lap record, race win, fastest lap. They don't come any better than that. And with still 15 rounds to go, admittedly, he leads the championship. 28 points for him. Jordan Pepper with a maiden podium yesterday in the TGI Lamborghini team by GRT machine, coming home second. Only his third race in the DTM at the start of his first full season, and there the South African lining up ready to go. Second in the championship, 22 points for him. And Maro Engel with his first podium of the season, was on the podium here last year, went on to become a real title challenger, did Maro Engel. Good pit stop from his crew, good strategy to come in late, and Maro moving from 5th on the grid to come through and finish the race in 3rd place yesterday. So he's 3rd in the championship with 16 points. Early days to talk about championship. There's a rookie championship as well. Ben Durr is included in the rookie championship, even though this is his second season. Ben Green is not, even though this is his maiden season, because he's a platinum class driver. There's points for qualifying for the rookie championship as well. So Ben Durr leading the rookie championship, got his best ever result in the DTM yesterday with an 11th, and he's on 35 points in the rookies ahead of Maurice Schuring on 29, and Tom Callender, the 17-year-old, on 24 points. The current manufacturers champions, Mercedes, are leading the manufacturer standings on 41 points from Lamborghini and Porsche. And then the teams championship, Winwood, who were real title contenders last year, lost out to Schubert in the end, but they've got 27 points yesterday. Your best 2 placed cars bring home the points in the races for each team. Same with the manufacturers. TGI Lamborghini by GRT are 2nd on 26, and Landgraf are 3rd on 25. Landgraf getting their 2nd DTM win as a team. They were involved in the championship in 2023, didn't come back last year. They got a win at Zandvoort that season, 2023, with their Mercedes, and then yesterday, first race back, brilliant day, that victory with Lucas Auer, and a brilliant pit stop as well, the best of the day, 6.3 seconds, which is why they lead the pit stop challenge after 1 round. So a beautiful looking morning here. We have got a bit of a chill in the air. It's a bit less windy than it was yesterday morning. The gusts were up a little bit in the morning and died down a bit before we got to the race, but it's a bit more calm. Still a bit of a breeze here. It's fairly open, very flat countryside here, so it's nice in the sunshine, but when you're in the shade here, you can feel the chill. It's around about 12 degrees. You get 4 sets of these new compound Pirelli tyres to use over Saturday and Sunday. 2 qualifyings and 2 races. And if you qualify in the top 10, you have to use the set of tyres you qualified on to start the race. 20-minute session to set the grid then for race 2. What normally happens is we have a few doing a recce when qualifying starts, but really they normally leave it to the last 6 or 7 minutes to start going for times, and then they all complain about traffic and being held up by slower cars. So expect fireworks in the second half of the session, but we're less than 20 seconds away now from qualifying 2 here at the Motorsport Arena, Oschersleben. And here at the circuit to the east of Germany, about 30 kilometers from Magdeburg, and about an hour and a half's drive from Hanover. And a couple of hours from Berlin. We're on that side of the country. I'm in the commentary box. I'm Chris Hartley. Good morning from me, and good morning from Brian Oliver, who's next to me here.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are watching us around the world. We are very excited for this. It's a new format for the race today with the 2 mandatory pit stops. But of course, qualifying very, very important here at the Oschersleben Motorsport Arena. We saw it yesterday, overtaking not easy. Into turn 1 is probably the best opportunity, but elsewhere on the circuit, it's quite tricky. So this is a very important session this morning. A lot of the hard work to be done here in this session. As Chris has already mentioned, we'll probably go out, do an installation lap, and then come into the pits, wait for the heat soak through the brakes and the rims of the wheels into the tyres. We have about 10 minutes watching the grass grow, and then it's all hell for leather for the last part of quali. But traffic is certainly going to be an issue. The track should be getting quicker as more rubber is laid down. As we've already mentioned, it is very sunny. There's a proper chill in the air, but when you're in the direct sunshine and out of the wind, it's really quite warm. So track temperature at the moment is 13.8 degrees centigrade. That's gone up about a degree in the last couple of minutes. So the track temperature is rising, which means it's going to have a bit more grip to it as this session goes on.
Yeah, much cooler than it was for the race yesterday, where the track temperature got up to 26 degrees, didn't it? But yesterday morning, fairly comparable. And yesterday, we had a new lap record around here, set by Lucas Auer, 121.004 seconds. Last year, pole position on Sunday was a bit slower than pole position on Saturday by about 0.4 of a second, and it was warmer than it is now. It was 18 degrees here last year, the air temperature, and it's around about 12 at the moment. So it's a bit chillier than it was this time 12 months ago when Mirko Bortolotti got pole position. He'd love to get his first pole for the ABD team, having qualified in the middle of the grid yesterday. Came through still and got some points. Picked up a 9th place finish from 12th on the grid. This driver, though, didn't get any points and didn't finish the race. Rene Rast with a DNF at the start of the season. The driver who's 3rd in the all-time rankings for the most number of wins in the DTM, only beat bettered at the moment by Bernd Schneider and Klaus Ludwig. He's got the equal most number of pole positions. What he has got is a car that was struggling yesterday in qualifying and in the race. In a straight line, engine issues for the car, which is why he retired. He was losing all of his time in the qualifying at the, down the back straight in the middle portion of the lap. But his teammate there, you can see behind him, Marco Wittmann, actually had a pretty good day. Qualified higher up, just outside the top 10. Got into the points, finished in 8th place. And Marco said, pretty much the best we can do. It's not a track that really suits the BMW. So Rene Rast will be hoping for more. But what he has got, Brian, is more fresh tyres than most of the others, because he only did that one stint, then came in and retired the car.
And that could be very significant, particularly today as we start with the new format. And it's brand new for 2025, 2 mandatory pit stops for race 2. It was business as usual yesterday, albeit the race 5 minutes shorter than what we had last year. But today, again, a 55-minute race, but with a mandatory stop from the 10th to the 25th minute. That's the first pit window, so a 15-minute pit window for the first stop. But then, oh boy, this is going to be fun. The 39th to the 45th minute, the pit window will open for 6. Yes, that's just 6 glorious minutes when all 24 cars will need to come in for a mandatory stop. And that is going to be very interesting in the closing stages of the race. But yes, having that extra rubber available to him may give Rene Rast an advantage. And he certainly needs one, because yesterday he really did struggle. Mechanical issues with that car. We saw Marco Wittmann had a bit of pace in the BMW, but they weren't really bringing it to the cars at the front, particularly the Mercedes-AMG and the Porsches. So Rene Rast, I think he'll have renewed determination. As predicted, cars are now peeling back off into the pit lane, having done their formation lap. So there's a bit of heat generated into the tyres, into the brakes. But now the heat soak cycle, try saying that after a long Saturday night, as they sit in the pit box. Give it another 5 minutes or so, and it's going to get very, very busy.
The heat soak cycle was the name of Arjumani's dance routine at the DTM presentation.
Mr. Cool.
Because he was the DTM champion of dancing. If you were there, you know what we mean. But got some great moves as Arjumani, it turns out, and he likes the stage. But the Aston Martins, yeah, coming straight back in. A new team for us in the DTM, a team that's developed the Belgian team from racing in Fun Cup endurance racing initially, then up through touring cars in TCR, running Audis. They ran an Audi in their first season of GT3 competition in 2023. They moved to Aston Martin, and now we were told yesterday by the team founder Francois Verbiste they've got a 4-year deal with Aston Martin. They're looking to be in the DTM for several years. They had their first Aston Martin GT3 season last year and won the Spa 24 Hours, one of their drivers being Nicky Tim. And they are here bringing Aston Martin back into the DTM with the thunderous V8s, and here very much for a learning year. There's the very likeable Arjen Nguyen. Has always got a smile on his face, even though he tends to have lots of bad luck in the DTM the last couple of years, but a very quick driver, the Turkish driver, that his teammate Tommy Preining, and that the third Manthey that we've got now, Maurice Schuring, who seems to be a super chilled out guy when we've seen him in the paddock a couple of times and spoken to him this weekend. He's really enjoying the challenge. Said to us yesterday, Brian, that he was one of the drivers that felt like he could have gone quicker, but he got held up and delayed on his quickest lap in qualifying. And once you have a compromised qualifying, it's hard to come forwards at this circuit in the race.
Yeah, what were we saying in that about traffic in the closing stages of this qualifying session? Several drivers complaining about that. Indeed, Tom Callender as well, another driver who had a fairly scary moment coming out of the final corner on his push lap and saw cars going slowly and had to back out of it, and that compromised his qualifying. But yes, Maurice Schuring, so excited to have him. I've seen his dad Gervin down in the pits. His brother, no doubt, Flint, will be watching on as well. They are a family who have racing in the blood, and we've seen him coming up through the ranks. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany, Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup, win, win, win all the way. The Schuring family, that's all they know. Certainly high expectations for him in the DTM.
It's not that warm.
I was going to nick the towel out of my hotel room this morning for just some of that in the commentary box. But as you say, the sun not quite that hot at the moment. But I have to tell you, there is a massive crowd. Well, there was a massive crowd here yesterday. It was a big queue to get in this morning as well. There's one thing for sure. DTM is bigger and more popular than it's ever been. So many people here enjoying the Magdeburg sunshine, enjoying what is an completely empty track. We're getting on towards the halfway point of the qualifying session, and there are zero cars. Now, as I say that, Ricardo Feller, I think, is moving in the pit lane very, very slowly. So maybe we're going to have a lone Audi to have a look out.
Yeah, indeed. So the calm before the storm, this is. Let's go down to the pit lane now and catch up with Verena.
And I'm here with Uli Fritz. Uli, can you just tell us a little bit about, obviously, qualifying hasn't started yet, and we can still see the drivers. They're all eager sitting in the car, but a lot of mechanics are doing things. What exactly is happening?
I mean, officially it has started, but the topic with our unpreheated tires is always that we need to get the tires, the temperature into the tires. So what we are doing is just one prep lap outside, a heat soak lap, and then the cars go back into the garage, and we allow the tire to get some temperature before we go out for the real qualifying laps.
All right, so your boys are going to be going out in just a bit as well, as we can see.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is going as late as possible because the track is always evolution. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, soon it will be so far, and everybody will be out on track. You can already see the cars roaring out.
All right, let's do it. Let's go qualifying. Thank you so much, Uli. Back to you.
Thanks very much. Yeah, good to hear from Uli Fritz, the team principal at HRT. And HRT, of course, now running the Ford Mustangs, and have already built a fan base. And Arjen Miney did a great job yesterday to get into the points in their first race in the DTM. Not Ford's first race, because they've been with us before. They've had 30 race wins. Klaus Ludwig won the championship in a Ford Sierra Cosworth, and been a while away. 1994, the last time Ford were involved in the DTM. Now one of 9 brands we've got on the grid, and having worked for a long time with the Mercedes, Hubert Haupt's team, Haupt Racing, HRT, now bringing the Ford Mustang to make its model debut in the championship. And Arjen finishing in 15th place yesterday. We saw him yesterday evening in the paddock, and I'd surmised that he'd probably be quietly pleased about 15th. Not that he normally would be pleased with a 15th place finish, because he's a top driver, is Arjen. But given the newness of the model, the car, everything to learn about it, I thought he probably would be happy about it. We spoke to him and he said, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't think we would be necessarily in the points, so I was quite pleased about that. He said it was hard work for the last half of the race, though, keeping Nicky Tim behind me, which he almost managed to do to the checkered flag. Nicky got by late on in the end. But he said, yeah, The Ford's a bit tricky in the corners around here, but it is powerful in the straight line, and it's great fun to drive. We saw some onboard shots from him yesterday, and the cacophony of noise that you get from that V8 engine just sounded fantastic. So Arjun Maini very much enjoying life as a Ford Mustang driver. The Land Motorsport team tried something very smart yesterday, and it almost came off, but didn't quite. They tried to come in right at the start of the pit window, which started 20 minutes into the race, but they misjudged it by a second or two, came in too early, and that meant that they had to do another stop because it didn't count as the mandatory stop. They joked on online last night that they were practicing for today's two-stopper. They've got 2 pit stops done already, but again, Ricardo fell, having qualified out the top 10, like René Rast. We surmised that he wouldn't have started on the new tyre because he didn't have to, the tyre he qualified on. And then, of course, he would have put the new tyre on for the second stint, but he came in after a few laps to do that second pit stop, got rid of them, and we reckon put the old tyres back on. So he'll also have some barely used tyres for this race coming up this afternoon, Brian, because they're going to have 3 stints, effectively, aren't they? And when you've only got 2 sets of tyres a day, effectively 4 new sets here at the Lausitz ring, then you're not going to be able to bang brand new slicks on for every stint. So if you could have saved some tyres that are barely used yesterday, like René Rast, like Ricardo Fella, could be in a good position in the second half of the race today.
Yes, it's interesting. The second stop on the Sunday does change the strategy of the weekend somewhat, and I do wonder whether, well, clearly René Rast yesterday had mechanical issues and they brought the car into retirement, but I wonder whether they retired it maybe a little earlier than they might have done with today in mind, saving those valuable tyres. I mean, he didn't actually put a second set of tyres on the BMW, and as you say, Ricardo Fella, what was a debit yesterday may well be an advantage today, because he potentially has a nice new set of tyres ready to go, an additional set to what everyone else has. At the moment, they're all trying to get the heat into the tyres, as we've already mentioned numerous times, and no tyre warmers allowed. And just in case you're thinking it, they're not allowed to leave the tyres in the sunshine either to get the heat into them. It's very heavily restricted where they can leave the tyres, what they can do with them. No heating at all. All the heating needs to be done on the track, which is why we're seeing all the weaving and all the braking, and it takes a few laps to get the tyres into the window. So the car's very much in the build part of the qualifying process at the moment, building the heat, and then when those tyres are perceived to be in exactly the right place, then we'll get the push laps. So at the moment, we're still 3 or 4 seconds off the times that we would expect in this qualifying session. But with 7 minutes remaining, we've had 13 minutes, 7 to go. We are now going to start to get some competitive times. At the moment, it's Porsche 1-2, Thomas Preining 1:25.5, but he'll certainly beat that. And Maurice Schöring's already eclipsed that with a 1:24.996, but still plenty more to come.
Yeah, race teams always try to not bend the rules, but find grey areas in the rules and try to be smart with them. And no tyre warmers have been allowed in this championship since 2017. But what some of the teams, it's alleged, we're leaving the tyres out in the sunshine to warm up naturally before races started and qualifying sessions started. So they've actually brought in a rule now, put it into the regulations, where you have 2 specific areas where you have to keep the tyres. A race tyre area at the front of the pits and a tyre storage area where the tyres can be prepped. They're marked out as well, so to make sure that they are not able to gain an advantage that way. And on board there from Thomas Preining, who had, since the GT3 cars came into the DTM, and we came back here to Oschersleben in 2023, we've had 5 qualifying sessions and 5 different pole sitters. Thomas Preining is one of those pole sitters from the last couple of years. Can he become the first double pole sitter? And don't forget about Ben Green, who qualified on debut yesterday on pole position. Later, unfortunately, they found the car was slightly underweight, and he was disqualified, put to the back of the grid. But he was mega quick, Ben Green. Couldn't really come through in the race because it's tricky from where he was with this circuit layout. But let's see what he can do in the Ferrari. For now, it's a Porsche 1-2-3 for Manthey, Guen, Schöring and Preining with 1:24.6s. But we should be looking to get into the 1:21s, ideally.
Traffic jam.
A Mustang traffic jam, hand in hand. Well, this is a great photo opportunity if you're a Ford fan, as Arjun Maini kicks up the dust. Fabio Scherer stays in the middle of the track. It's all getting a bit tasty out there, so they're trying to tow each other along. Tom Kanga is the first into the 123s. Andrew Guen's just gone across the line in the green Manti Porsche, which is just about to go into turn 1 there, and that's the first into the 122s, 122.503. Ricardo Fella's done an absolute best first sector. That's just been eclipsed by, guess who, Ben Green, and an absolute best middle sector for Jules Gounon, who was not happy yesterday to only be 5th fastest. He started 4th on the grid after Ben Green was kicked out, but he felt there was more. Aston Martin goes second for now, 123.461 for Nicolas Barr, but Jules Gounon, I think, is going to be the first to set a really competitive time. Let's see what it is for the French Jandoran as he comes through. Yeah, into the 121s, wow. 121.922, but Ben Green, absolute best middle sector, and going even quicker at the start of the lap. Further back is Luca Engstler, so let's see how he gets on. But Ben Green, we're now watching, and he's coming through into this, well, he's already into this final sector. He goes now into the final corner, about 95 kilometres an hour through there. Hopes the Lamborghini doesn't get in his way, gets a face full of dust. He puts his foot flat to the floor. Ben Green crosses the line and does a 121.513 provisional pole.
I think Ben Green has got the bit between his teeth. He's got a point to prove. Maybe a little bit grumpy about having lost that pole position yesterday. But Ben Green, Jules Gounon, but now Luca Engstler straight to the top, 121.349. The times are tumbling. Every single car is now out on the track. They're all looking for space. And that is Jordan Pepper looking for a bit of space. He was very quick yesterday. He's currently in 23rd, but looking now to start his push lap with less than 3.5 minutes remaining.
Jordan abandoned that lap because he'd done a personal best first sector and an absolute best middle sector, but he backed it off. I think he saw traffic, so he's going to have another run at it as Ricardo Fella for now goes to the top of the times. Here he is. Great shots. The sun bursts through the window into the camera. You look into the eyes of the Swiss driver. He's done a 121.322, and by 27 thousandths his quickest. No longer. Jules Gounon has crossed the line quicker still. 121.072. They're going just as quick as they went yesterday. That's nearly, well, that is a quarter of a second quicker than Ricardo Fella. But the next one to watch, he's 23rd at the moment, is Jordan Pepper in the Grassa Lamborghini. Absolute best through the first sector with a 29.597 in the number 63 machine. This is his teammate Luca Engstler, who's on a decent lap and just coming out of the penultimate corner. They keep this neat and tidy. It'll be a decent lap this, but Pepper, I think, is the one to watch if he can hold it together through the middle sector. Luca Engstler about to come over the line now. Where does that put him? Third quickest. Good lap. So it's Jules Gounon from Ricardo Fella, Luca Engstler, Tommy Pryning coming through the corner next. Sorry, Andrew Guen coming through the corner next with a clean lap ahead of him. 2 minutes to go in the session. Where does Andrew go? He goes onto the front row of the grid. He goes second. And here comes Jordan Pepper now. He lost a bit of time in the middle of the lap. It's going to be a good first effort. He goes second. Front row of the grid. It's Gounon from Pepper from Guen.
But Pepper is under investigation. That moment we saw at turn 14. He's under investigation for blocking Lucas Auer at turns 13 and 14. So there could be an issue there that will be decided by the stewards. Also under investigation, car 24, Mauro Engel, for blocking Tommy Pryning at turn 13. Yeah, investigations popping up, and again another investigation for Jordan Pepper, and that's for blocking 24 and 21 at turn 13. So that's Mauro Engel, and we don't actually have a car 21, so certainly blocking somebody.
Somebody blocking something. Thierry Vermeulen's gone third quickest in the Emile Frey Ferrari with a 121.235. Nicky Tim was struggling yesterday, but he's only 16th now. Remember, Mirko Bortolotti was happy with the handling of the car, but he said he was 3 or 4 kilometres an hour down in a straight line down the back straight. Borto is only 10th at the moment. Thomas Pryning, right, pulls the trigger. Personal best through the first sector for the Austrian. Here he is. He's 7th at the moment, 28.3 seconds through the middle sector. Sector 2 has been the best time through sectors 1 and 2 has been Jordan Pepper so far. He's 0.3 down and he's backed it off. So he's going to have one more crack at this. Last roll of the dice for Tommy Pryning. He backs off through the last sector. He pulls the trigger. Pepper goes over the line. He's had a back off lap as well, so he's going to go for one more lap, and they're together. Pepper into turn 1, and they're the Porsche of Pryning going into turn 1 just behind him. And it's their last chance because there's only 25 seconds left on the clock. But for now, Jules Gounon in the Mercedes, he's hanging on to pole position by a thread, by 75 thousandths of a second.
So 15 seconds remaining of this session. Any car that's on a lap once the clock strikes 0 will be able to continue, and that lap will count. But every car still out on track. Everybody looking to improve, but the screens are not lighting up. Now Jules Gounon appeals off into the pits, as does Ben Durr and Gilles Magnus. So Jules Gounon has given us all that he's going to. Can anybody get close to the 121.072 in the closing moments of this session? Marco Wittmann has not improved on his lap. That's the car we're following on screen at the moment. Nobody looks to be improving. So Jules Gounon looking very strong for that pole position.
Absolutely. Argentinian Marco Wittmann, who's just crossed the line and goes 13th, both under investigation for blocking as well. It's as if they all went out together at the same time and got in each other's way, isn't it, this DTM qualifying session? How bizarre. Right, never happened before. Checker flag comes out, but I don't think this is going to be an improvement for Jordan Pepper. But once again, the South African is in the top 2 in a session. Mr. Consistent this weekend and consistently quick. So great effort by him. But Jules Gounon gets his pole position at only the 4th attempt. He had the 2 qualifying sessions at Hockenheim at the end of last year. Qualified well yesterday, but he wasn't happy with it. And Jules Gounon, multiple Bathurst 12-hour race winner, former ADAC GT Masters champion, now a DTM pole sitter. And that means in the GT3 era, we've had 6 qualifying sessions and 6 different pole sitters. And Jules Gounon adds his name to that list.
Where Jules Gounon signed up for DTM 2025, we knew he was going to be a challenger. He's not here to make up the numbers. Anything less than a top step is a fail for Jules Gounon. And he is certainly my tip as one of the dark horses for the championship this year, proving that on his debut weekend as a first full season driver in DTM, taking a pole position in the yellow Mamba. Great team, great car, great driver.
Good effort, that. Really good, really quick lap as well, given it was colder than yesterday. 121.072. Jordan Pepper, only 75 thousandths of a second away from his first pole. Thierry Vermeulen, great effort, 3rd for the Dutch driver. Anjan Guin 4th. Ricardo Feller under the radar, but what about that? 5th place in the Audi. And he's got decent tyres, we reckon, for the race. 6th place, Luca Engstler, quick again like he was yesterday. Tommy Preining 7th. Lucas Auer, yesterday's pole sitter, only 8th. Maro Engel on the podium yesterday, only 9th. Mirko Bortolotti, better than yesterday, but still only 10th. Ben Green 11th. Ben Durr impressing again in the McLaren 12th. Marco Wittmann 13th. Max Powell 14th. René Rast back in 15th again. Nicky Tim 16th. Tom Callender, Maurice Schuring, Jack Aitken 19th. Arjun Miney 20th, and then Timo Glock 21st. Gilles Magnus, Fabio Scherer and Nicola Bart rounding out the 24 runners. So Thierry Vermeulen, who got a pole last year at the Saxon Ring, starts 3rd on the grid here. And we know that the Emil Frey racing team have a good record around here in that 296. They've had win, they've had podium, they've had a pole with Jack Aitken. Jordan Pepper, though, keeps marching on, doesn't he? Great slow-mo as he sends the sparks flying from that Lamborghini Huracan. 2nd place on the grid for him. But this man, what a driver, Jules Gounon. Looks like he belongs already in the DTM, doesn't he? He just fits straight in. He did that, to be honest, when he came as a guest driver at Hockenheim at the end of last year. He is a supreme driver, and the French driver who runs these days on an Andorran race licence also sends the sparks flying. So they're the top 3. Remember, the top 3 from yesterday's race, not in qualifying, but in the race, will have to carry success ballast. So Lucas Auer, as yesterday's winner, will have 20 kilograms on board. Jordan Pepper, who's going to start 2nd, will have 10 kilograms on board. And Maro Engel, who starts 9th, will have 5 additional kilograms of success ballast on board. But Jules Gounon won't have anything on his car because he didn't quite make the podium yesterday. Likewise, Thierry Vermeulen. Nice to see Anjan Guin up there in 4th place as well. The Porsche going well, 4th for him, and only just over 1/10 of a second away from pole position. There's Jordan Pepper then. He's got a real chance, Brian, to walk away with the championship lead at the end of this race, hasn't he?
Yes, what a debut that would be for his first full season. I would say that everything is very much subject to confirmation. Now, we've got a lot of investigations for potential blocking going on.
Right, let's get some news from Verena.
And I'm here with Thierry Vermeulen. Congratulations, P3 in the qualifying. I guess you're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, extremely happy. We had quite a tough day yesterday. We switched the complete car around overnight. So, yeah, the team is the one to thank, and really happy to start in a good position for the race today.
And now looking forward to the race, obviously later on, and it's a new format, so that's going to be interesting with 2 pit stops.
Yes, absolutely. We already saw yesterday after the pit stops with the cold tires, it's not easy here. So we have to analyze and see what's the best way around it. But it's the same for everyone, and I'm looking forward to a fun and good race, hopefully.
So thank you very much, Thierry. And I'm going to try to grab someone else in just a minute. I think Jules is finishing up, because obviously we want to speak to Jules. Hello, because Jules Gounon, fantastic. Congratulations. Starting in pole position. I can see that big smile. Obviously, you're very excited about that.
Yeah, honestly, yesterday we struggled a lot in my car. I had no pace in the race. It was quite hard. The car was reacting very strangely. Last night, my engineer Thomas and all my boys, my mechanics, Flo, Berkan, Carlitos, and so on, they worked very hard until midnight to change dampers, everything on the car, because we were not sure. And today it felt good. So thanks to Winward, thanks to my team. First DTM pole position is a special moment, but now we focus on the race. But lovely day.
Absolutely lovely day, and hopefully the lovely day is going to get even better, because the race is coming on. And yesterday we saw how Luki Auer turned the pole position into a win. So hopefully you can do that too.
I try also. I try my best, and we try our best with the team, and we see where we end up.
All right, best of luck. Thank you so much. And back to you.
Thanks, Farina. So the car was awful yesterday, but it still finished 5th. That's not bad, is it? Oh, there's Nicky Tim. It's been a tough weekend so far for Abt and for Nicky in particular, hasn't he? He's got to try the Viking, the very likeable Dane, to come from, 16th on the grid. Great to see Thierry Vermeulen, though, up there in 3rd. The team of Melfry have made, we spoke to Ben Green yesterday, and Jack Aitken has been saying they've been making a lot of changes to the car, the Ferrari, since the test day at the start of the season. Some have worked and some haven't, but they are in the window. They can't quite get all 3 cars up there at the same time. Look how happy he is. He's, again, a huge DTM fan. He's dreamed of doing this for a long time. Do you know he collects race suits from DTM drivers? He's got
Yes.
race suits from Marco Wittmann, Kelvin van der Linde and Rennie Rast amongst his collection. So he's a proper DTM fan as well, Brian.
Yeah, there's a big walk-in wardrobe in his Andorran house, I think. Yes, absolutely brilliant. And as I've said before, he's not here to make up the numbers. He is here to challenge, and he is a winner in everything he takes part in. He's a former GT Masters champion, as we already mentioned, a former Bathurst winner as well. And he's going to take a bit of stopping. We already know the Mercedes AMG is very quick. And remember that the 1, 2, 3 from yesterday are going to be carrying the success ballast as well. So he's in a very strong position there. But of course, we've got that second pit stop, and that is really going to throw a random element in.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome race. It starts at 1:30 p.m. here. Local time will be on air to bring you all the build-up before that, of course. From us in the commentary box, that's it for now. Let's go back down to Verena.
And I'm here with Jordan Pepper. Wow, you're really leaving an impression on us, a very good one. I mean, another podium possibly today in the race, because you'll be starting in P2. So how excited are you about how so far the season's going?
Yeah, I mean, we got to be a bit realistic, right? It's been a perfect start to the season. Obviously, maybe we need to race 8 rounds at Oschersleben, I don't know. But yeah, super happy. Obviously missed out on the pole again by a short margin, but my lap was everything I had, and you know, for Jules to beat me, he must have done a great job. So congrats to them, but happy to collect another 2 points. We know going into this race will be a bit difficult with the 10 kilograms that we have to carry from yesterday, but we got 2 pit stops, a whole new challenge ahead of us. And yeah, I trust in my boys. They gave me incredible car and quali. We should hopefully fine tweak what we missed yesterday, and I know they're one of the quickest on the pit lane this year, so let's see what we can do. Everything can happen.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much. And yeah, what an exciting qualifying. And now, of course, we're looking forward to the race in just a bit. A new format with 2 pit stops, so it's going to be super exciting. You don't want to miss it. See you later. Here are the highlights. Do enjoy. Bye-bye.